Hi Cancer, welcome to Spiritualista. This is your weekly energy forecast from the 29th of September until the 5th of October. If you'd like a personalized deep dive reading, the link to my Etsy shop is below. And now let's see what the universe has in store for you guys this week. So Cancer, please tap me into Cancer's energy from the 29th of September until the 5th of October. Please tap me into the highest possible source for Cancer. And let's see what's waiting for them the upcoming week. All right. Cancer, let's see here. There we go. All right. So to start off, your present moment card is represented by the King of Wands. And you're being crossed by the Nine of Pentacles as your challenge. In your crowning position, the top of your mind, you have the Page of Swords. And in your foundation position, oh, another page, you have the Page of Cups. Nice. Nice balance there, actually. Okay, so not your near future, your recent past, we have the Five of Wands. So you're just coming out of a little bit of competitive, a little bit tense energy, just, yeah, conflict, unfortunately. But you're coming out of it, so that's fortunate, at least that's good. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Beautiful. This is your near future card. And let's see here, the suggested approach from the universe is going to be the Six of Wands. And your surrounding energies and what you need to know is the Eight of Cups. This is the third or fourth time that I'm seeing this card come out for people, for all signs in these readings that I've been making today. So definitely this week is all about healing and walking away from something that is no longer aligned with you and your energy. So that's definitely the case for you here. Could be this. This is the Nine of Swords, another one. This is, I think, the fifth time I'm seeing the Nine of Swords today come out. So definitely a week of lots of anxiety. And I've said that in a few other signs, even that, like, I normally never have nightmares, but I've been having nightmares recently, like several nights in a row. And this is very unusual. And I was wondering if it's to do with some sort of collective energy, if it's not like a specific me thing or a specific Virgo thing, but if it's general. And this card indicates that it is. So it could be something more astrological, because this is all about sleepless nights or having nightmares, having anxiety during nighttime usually, and being like spiraling in your thoughts, having catastrophic thinking. And this is your hopes and fears. It makes a lot of sense that it would be definitely a fear for you there. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles here and your potential future. Now let's check out the bottom of the deck, guys. So we have the Two of Pentacles. This is actually the first time I'm seeing the Two of Pentacles come out for any sign. So let's just get right into that. I'm really curious about this one. So Cancer, King of Wands. That's your little applause. Beautiful energy. Beautiful energy to be in your present moment. So it tells me that you're very confident. You're very, very confident. You're just in this very attractive energy. You're pulling things in. You're very magnetic. And yeah, just in this super, super bold, very confident energy here. So beautiful present moment. Like seriously, this is all about you being in like your natural leadership, you know, just taking charge of your own story, of your situations, just no bullshit, you know, having a clear vision of what you want and just being able to call the shots. So this is good. This is a brilliant present for you here. So keep going. That's me, and that's my advice. Like keep being in this energy as much as you can for as long as you can. And this week wants you to just, yeah, stay aligned with the King of Wands there and just be in this charisma. And yeah, this is going to be like, you have a lot of influence right now. That's what I'm sensing here. And a lot of people are inspired by you and your presence. Like you have this very radiant presence. I'm feeling this aura from you that's, wow, super strong, super powerful, but in a good way, you know, like not bad powerful. I just kind of got to add that to that. But yeah, wow, beautiful energy. Wow. And this too, wow. So Nine of Cups, amazing card as well. There is a little bit of tension here though, because it is challenging, right? So when it's in this sideways position in a Celtic cross, that means that, yeah, likely with this one, this is a card about dreams, right? It's a card about wishing for things and trying to plan for the bigger picture and what you want to attract into your life, right? So since this is challenging you here, it feels like you kind of don't believe in that. And you think that you're maybe dreaming a little bit too high right now, and it's not really attainable for you here. And yeah, even kind of wondering if maybe there might be some selfishness attached to pursuing what you want here. I'm getting that sense. I'm getting that sense for some of you. And it's not, you know, people might get jealous, of course, if you succeed, but you deserved it, you know, and you did so because this is a brilliant place to be in. So I don't think it's even much of an effort to you to land in this place here right now, but you are a little bit scared about this. And if you're going to be able to reach those goals, or if the goals are maybe a little bit like too much on the outside or too far away from you right now. But I'm sensing that it's possible, especially if you manage to maintain this energy here with the King of Wands. Yeah, and you deserve it too. So don't feel any guilt about that, you know? No, this is good. This is good. And crowning on your mind, so the Page of Swords. Yeah, it's like you're being you're being a little bit cautious with your mind right now. I mean, this is a little bit like there is a little bit of a paranoia element to this card. I don't think it's that bad in your case, but let's just say like your curiosity is really high right now. It's really, really high, and it can sometimes have a tendency to just be a little bit too much, right? So you just need to pull it back a little bit. So you're kind of observing things and you're trying to learn new things, right? And just, yeah, maybe like there's a element of like testing people with this one. So maybe you're not just speaking your entire truth here, but you're giving like little crumbs or little hints, or I want to say manipulation, even though it has, of course, it's a bad word to say like that, but it's almost as if I'm going to try and give you an analogy to this here. You know, sort of like you want a friend to reach out to you, and this friend is not reaching out to you, and then instead of just, you know, leaving it be and accepting that maybe they're busy and they don't have time right now and they have their other things to think about, you kind of do a little bit of like emotional manipulation with that friend, and you're like, oh, that made me really sad, you know, even though you maybe didn't even care that much, but at some, like, there's some level of you trying to handle things through maybe getting people to like see you in this more pitiful way with this energy here and feel sorry for you, when you don't have to. Like, you don't have to be in that place, especially with the King of Wands. Just be strong in yourself, and just, if the person doesn't answer you straight away, like doesn't pick up your phone calls, that's on them, you know, and they might have other things to do, where you don't have to always be the priority here. But I think that you're a little bit struggling. I have a sense that this is about friendship connections. It could be about like a romantic one too, but I feel more that it's to do with like your general energy, with your general cycle here, where you're kind of in this testing mode. You're like dropping little hints and see if people will bait, you know. It's like a little bit of like a rage bait energy to this today, where you have to be mindful of that. And I think it's actually stemming from you overanalyzing things and you're overthinking your connections a little bit too much here. So just don't get caught up in that, you know. And just, you can still question things, but just keep that more constructive, you know. And also I just want to say, for some of you, this could be a little bit about gossip energy too. It doesn't have to be you that are gossiping, but there could be people around you as well with that energy. So just, yeah, just stay a little bit mindful of that this week, because I just got that word, so I just wanted to say that. Of course, it doesn't have to apply to everyone, but yeah, might resonate with some people. And then Foundation, Page of Cups. So deep down, you're very open-hearted. Very, very open-hearted. There's like a very sweet vulnerability with this card. So yeah, it's like you have this desire to connect more authentically with people here, you know? And yeah, it's just that I feel that you're a little bit scared of doing that. And that's why you're giving these little crumbs, you know, rather than communicating straight up like what your needs are. Or if they're not that important, like if you're just feeling a little bit clingy, and you can actually hold that, you know, you don't have to have that person contact you immediately, and you can actually go a few hours without having your text message be replied to, and just give them some space to breathe here and take a little step back, you know. That would be sweet too. But if you are in that energy of like very, very much needing a reply and it's very urgent, then for sure, don't play little games I'm getting lots of gamey energy from you here in this week. So yeah, you can still be vulnerable, but just be vulnerable in an honest way, in an open way, right? And it's okay to have this desire to connect with someone, you know, but you have to approach those connections in your life with honesty, right? And especially if it's to do with a person that has brought in some conflicts or disappointments for you, you know, then just be very clear so that it doesn't happen again, so that it doesn't lead to more conflicts due to misunderstandings here. And there is some past 5 of Wands, which is why I'm talking a lot about conflicts too, because that's a period that you just left of this. This is a very competitive energy here, and it's an energy of conflict, right? So it's very ego-based, like lots of clashing egos here. So this might have felt like a very chaotic and draining energy for you to be in, but also it did sharpen your ability to stand your ground, and it did clarify the things that matter the most to you here. But you're still learning from that, and I think you're still quite a little bit entangled in that energy. So that's why you're so strong here in your present. Just stay in that, you know. That's the biggest advice. I haven't even gotten to the advice card yet, but this king is speaking so much to me today. So this is an extremely powerful, like, especially as a water sign, because this is a fire sign element. So especially as a water sign, it's a very, very powerful position for you to be in. So be very grateful for that and for being in this moment here. You don't need the games, you know, you don't need little hints. So, but I get that you feel that need to defend yourself in those ways and communicate in those little, yeah, unclear, like between the line ways, especially if you're coming from this and this is what you're used to, and especially if it involves other people that also have this tendency of being a little bit on and off, a little bit breadcrumby, and that energy in turn is going to spread to you, and you're going to assume that it's the normal way to communicate with them, or maybe the only way to communicate with them. But just avoid that. Like, you're way more mature than that. You don't need that in your life. And this is beautiful. 10 of Pentacles. So that's your near future. So wow, this is like, after this period here of competition, like, you're stable here. You're stable. You don't need to compete with anyone here. You can just stand on your own. Wow. This is like, wow. Lots of long-term stability here. Heaps of abundance for you. So yeah, this is you having built something more enduring here. And this could be about family, but also about career. But definitely it's something that feels very much like home to you. And this feels very important, especially in putting this idea into your head that you are very powerful, you are very potent, especially when you see that this is the result of being in this energy here. And you're being able to produce something that is very much aligned with you through your own manifestation powers here. And this is going to feel really nice for you to be in. Wow. Beautiful spread. Wow. And yeah, so then suggested approach. Here's the advice, the actual advice from the universe other than this. So 6 of Wands, all about like embracing your wins, right? Especially with this one here. And just letting yourself be seen here, you know, and just celebrate yourself, because yeah, this is the energy of like where even your smaller victories still deserve celebration here. And your confidence is really magnetic right now. So just don't shrink back from your achievements here. That's what it's saying. And your surrounding energies is what you need to know. So the 8 of Cups. So something around you is signaling you that it's time to walk away from what doesn't fill you up anymore here. Yeah, so just make sure to align your life with the connections that truly matter to you, rather than these more failed connections here from the past and these conflict connections here. Because like I said, you're better than this. You don't have to be in this energy here. So I feel that these two are very much connected. And yeah, this is you walking away from that. This is you just being like, no, it's not for me. It's not for me. I've grown past that, you know. It's not aligned with that anymore. Nuh-uh. So that's you. That's good. That's good. And okay, so we need to talk about the 9 of Swords. So 9 of Swords. Yeah, you're very worried about something. Like, why? Why are you so anxious, Cancer? Let me know in the comments. So, very deep anxiety here with this card. Lots of like worst case scenario thinking for you. So yeah, it's just don't let that be your story, you know? Don't let that be your story. Know that it's mainly in your head. Know that you're very likable. You're a very like lovable person. You don't need to manipulate. You don't need the games. You don't need the guilt. You don't need none of that, you know? Just But I think you're still kind of a bit stuck in your head there. Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, mainly mind-based, mainly self-imposed, this one. So just acknowledge your fears. Do that, of course, because otherwise, if you just resist them, they're just going to stay there. But just don't let them steer you. Don't let them overpower you here, because you do have a lot of power. So just don't let this be your story here. And just try and move on from this. Even if it involves talking about it to people, you know, counseling, friends, your family, any like support system that you have around you that could be beneficial to you in dealing with this. It's such a good spread. So yeah, it makes me sad to see that there, you know. It's just like you're still stuck to some pain here. And I feel all of these are just connected, these three here. It's all the same situation here. So just let me know. Let me know what this is about. Yeah. And then Ace of Pentacles, though. So that's a positive note. That's a positive note. That's a very fresh opportunity for you. It's very promising here. And it's usually to do with the material world. So could be a new job for you. Or even an investment that you're putting into something here. But definitely it's a tangible start that has a more long-term potential for you. So I think these two are very connected too. And this is actually very much, both of them are very much aligned with your future here. So go for it. Go for it. This is a very, very good, successful, long-term potential here. So it's the universe handing you a little gift here. Quite a big gift, actually. And just planting the seed of this prosperity for you here. So beautiful spread. Wow. And the Two of Pentacles at the bottom. So this is what's underlying here. So it's all about balance, this one. All about, you've been juggling a little bit of responsibilities here and just having a little bit of hard time with your priorities here. So that it's quite difficult for you to make a choice, but you're definitely capable of keeping these things moving as long as you stay flexible and as long as you stay centered within yourself and you do this work here. So to tie it all together, yeah, you're being called into this energy. Wow, like this leadership energy here. And you're learning how to fully claim your happiness and curiosity, and staying open-minded, having an open heart, you know. And all of that is guiding you after this period of conflict here that you're still a little bit stuck to. But there is lots of stability and abundance here in your future. And especially if you celebrate your progress here, and especially if you manage to walk away from this, because it doesn't fit you anymore. So just release that and release the unnecessary worry around that. And just stay open to any new beginnings here. Because, yeah, you won't have to be juggling what matters to you. But you're going to be building a future that's very meaningful to you and very lasting here. So, yeah, just stay balanced. Just stay balanced with your choices. Because, yeah, you can make it. Like, you're very, very capable, Cancer. So, but you have to do it from a centered place. And you have to do it from a very honest place here. That's what I'm getting. So be very clear in your communication this week. That's the main advice for you here. So Cancer, that's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching my video. And I really hope that this reading resonated with you. And if so, please give it a like and let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for your weekly energy forecast. Okay, bye.